Hello?
Hi there. Can you open this door, please?
For what?
I just want to make sure that everything's okay. There seems to be something going on.
What what do you mean?
I don't know. I just figured I'd check on something.
Now, I don't know about the rest of the class, but to me, the guy that walks up to a total stranger's house, dressed up like a school shooter stereotype, looking around nervously when they ask what the fuck they want when they're knocking on my door unannounced, doesn't really inspire a whole lot of confidence in their motivations. It doesn't. It's the same reason that if someone walked up with a chainsaw, revving it, while dressed up in a mask made from tanned human flesh and having a butcher's apron on, I wouldn't exactly be necessarily inclined to trust them enough to actually really want to have anything to do with them. In fact, it's that kind of attitude and approach that would most likely put me on guard, because I'm going to be wondering just what the fuck is going on with the crazy bastard that's now approached my house unannounced. But who knows? Maybe this weird stereotype of a Reddit moderator genuinely does have good intentions. Maybe, just maybe, I'm being a cynic. Maybe I'm being unfair. It's possible this person has nothing but virtuous intent. And if you hear the sarcasm in my voice, it's because you should be well aware that people like this often never have virtuous intent. Very rarely is it ever based on a selfish or selfless or altruistic intention. Most of the time, it's because they got shit going on in the background that they are not going to say in front of everyone.
I don't know what you want, man. Get out of my house.
Open this fucking door.
Yeah, that was a great idea. Let's try to kick down the fucking door. Let's show just how crazy and unhinged we are just right off the bat. Like, just drop all pretense about wanting to do a welfare check on somebody. You know, if you genuinely believe that someone was in danger, the best thing to do would have been contact law enforcement and see about having a welfare check done, instead of just harassing this person in their home and possibly frightening their family. Because, you know, the best thing to do if you think that someone's in danger is to act like a psycho, but try to kick down their door and just make a nuisance of yourself. Because it totally isn't like that kind of shit will just get you fucked up or shot. And it's only going to contribute to more problems down the road, especially if someone is actually in danger. You've alerted the person that's possibly hurting them to the point to where they might pick up and go somewhere else now. Just, what the fuck? What the fuck? This is not well thought out, huh? This is what happens when you spend all your time on Reddit and you hear all these ridiculously stupid AI slop stories about men rescuing women from crazy fathers or abusive partners. Instead, you get radicalized into believing that shit. And worse, you start developing main character syndrome where you think you're going to become Frank Castle or John Wick or John McClane or John Constantine if you just act like a fucking crazy spaz and dress like a school shooter. Seriously, like, why are you dressed like a school shooter's idea of cool? What the fuck is this? What the fuck is this trench coat and this thrash metal t-shirt gonna do? If you genuinely wanted to be helpful, the worst thing you could do is dress as fucking creepily and as awkwardly as possible to look like the kind of person that your neighbors whisper about being the creepy fucking weeaboo in nearly your 40s. Tell me this is not the guy that has a body pillow of a trap that he jerks off to consistently while he cries himself to sleep every night, wondering why his 17-year-old waifu won't come and find him. When he's sitting on Reddit for hours and hours of his day, avoiding sunlight because the sun would disintegrate him like a fucking vampire. This is the kind of guy that people make all the gamer stereotypes about. It's because he literally embodies all these stereotypes in one crazy fucking package.
Where's your daughter, man? Where's your daughter,
What are
man?
you talking about?
Where's your daughter? Who's in there with you?
Bro, if you don't
Open this
leave,
fucking door. Open this door. I'm breaking it fucking down. You understand me?
Yeah, where's your daughter? Where's your daughter? Open this door. Open this door so this obviously deranged man can enter your home with your daughter present. I don't know. I think we should let him in, guys. I don't know about you. I think we should let him in. I mean, he's obviously shown that he's a model of mental stability. We should let him in. Like, forget the fact that he tried to break down the door. Forget the fact that he's acting like a fucking crazy person. Forget the fact that he was looking around nervous as shit earlier because he was probably checking for witnesses. Yeah, just forget all the stuff that would openly tell us letting him in would be a great mistake. Especially since no one knows if he's armed or not. But I think we should just let him in, guys. I think we should let him right in so he can become a huge threat to everyone in the household if he's armed, or so he can become a possible threat if he's unarmed. Because, that's what a sane person would want to do, is let someone that obviously looks deranged as shit into their home so that they can harass your family. I mean, doesn't that sound great, guys? Doesn't that sound great that you could let a psycho into your house that could then harass your wife or children? Like, this guy sounds like a sweet tender angel baby. I don't know why we don't let him in. Like, maybe he just needs money for them programs. Maybe we should just let him in. We should just let him in and make him a cup of chunky milk. It's obviously probably missing some. Maybe we should get some tendies in the oven too, because he looks like the kind of person that binge eats that horse shit. Not because it's actually tasty, not because he likes it, but because he's just a man child who's never had to make anything for himself his entire life, I guess. How can you get this mentally fucked up that you think it's a reasonable thing to do is just approach your neighbor's home unprompted and start asking really weird fucking invasive questions involving their family, especially their children, and then you try to kick down their door like a fucking psycho. By the way, quick side comment about that door. Whoever put that door in did a damn good job, because that door held like a motherfucker. I might want to find out. I might want to get the number of those contractors to just reinforce my windows and walls. Because if shit hits the fan, I want to be able to come home to a fortress and not whatever the fuck I live in now. Like, it might just be a necessary measure if shit keeps escalating the way that it does. But yeah, this guy comes off as like clinically insane. Just the way he's trying to kick down the door, asking about someone else's kids, acting like a fucking spaz. Like, let's be honest. Like, had I been a parent and this was happening, I would have just started shooting through the fucking door. And if I get him, I get him. And if it ends up really fucking him up, so be it. Because at that point, you're acting in defense of your children, who you believe are possibly under threat. Because you have this deranged, psychotic, middle-aged school shooter Reddit mod turning up on your fucking property, unprompted, for literally no explicable reason that he ever gets into here.
Leave my house. You don't.
Are you okay? Is everyone
We
in
are
this house
okay.
okay?
What? Everyone's okay. What do you want?
Look at this fucking retard. Is everyone okay? Well, we were okay, but then some asshole started fucking trying to kick our door down and harassing us, fighting the children, and then now I love that switch up, like, just, yeah, knock on the door politely, as though trying to kick down the door a moment ago didn't give everyone plenty of reason not to want your ass in the fucking house. I mean, if the roles were reversed, this guy would have been pissing himself and calling 911. And for some reason, he doesn't understand the confusion and trepidation of the homeowner who's just confused as to what the fuck this weirdo's even doing on his property at this point. I mean, how do you deal with a situation like this besides just telling them to go fuck themselves and get away from your house? Because that is the only way to deal with someone like this. That actually makes sense. Because you don't want to try to go out and confront them because they might be armed. And you also don't want to leave the doorbell in case this asshole finds a way to get through the lock, because at least if you're watching the camera, you'll know if he's getting in successfully or not. But the fact is, this is the kind of shit that makes you just want to live somewhere out in the middle of nowhere where assholes like this don't turn up. Because, people like this, they're allergic to nature, they're allergic to leaves. At the moment they touch grass, their skin bursts into flames. Like a vampire that's just made contact with fucking silver. Like, honestly, the best way to deal with people like this is just drop them in the middle of the woods somewhere and watch them go ape shit on each other, because there's no Wi-Fi and there's no fucking people to follow around and harass. Like, they don't have waifus to raise, so they're just gonna go ape shit and fight amongst themselves over who the best waifu is, because that's gonna be their entire personality. I mean, this is what happens when you have, like, a middle-aged weeaboo who doesn't understand, like, personal privacy, personal decency, and boundaries. The dude looks like one of the guys that you see on TCAP, except he thinks he's Chris Hansen, the homeowner. I know everyone's heard that saying at least once, that silence is golden, but in this clip, silence is just creepy and unsettling. And it's not unsettling because he looks intimidating, like someone could actually handle himself this spray. He looks like the kind of person that has no idea what the fuck he's even doing, but he's just trying his hardest to copy what he saw online to look cool and intimidating, to convince this vile villain to let him in their home, to possibly harass, assault, or accost him and his family. I also can't help but think it's funny that the birds, like singing like in tranquility in the background, is ironic as shit because it basically just shows that the whole thing is like a meme that's been unintentionally crafted through this guy's own idiocy and ineptitude. Because instead of coming off like this guy that's trying to save who he believes is in danger, he just comes off as the fucking weirdo harassing everyone at their house while the birds are in the background singing, making it look like some sort of weird robot chicken sketch where the guy thinks he looks badass, but he just looks stupid to everyone else around him. Like the dipshit, edgy teenager that thought they were cool, only to realize that everyone around them thought they were creepy and fucking weird.
Can you leave my house, please?
You open the door, please.
You have nothing to do with my house. Can you leave my house?
You know what my name is?
I don't know who you are. You don't belong in this neighborhood. That's for sure.
This is my neighborhood, though.
Yeah, I live there. I don't know you.
My name is Harry Dresden, motherfucker.
Okay, just because you live in the same neighborhood as the homeowner doesn't mean that you have the right to accost them and their family in their home. Like, this is just stupid. This is like next level harassment for no real fucking reason. This guy is an asshole. If he's not crazy, then he's just a dickhead with a problem that needs to be addressed by a psychologist. This is only the mindset of a fucking nut job. He's like, I'm gonna go up to my neighbor's house, accost him about his kids, and act fucking creepy and weird the entire time I do it. Oh yeah, Harry Dresden, because we all know your name is like a fucking cheat code that allows access to other people's homes. Oh, Harry Dresden, why didn't you say so? I'll open my door for you, and you can sit down with my children and say whatever you want to say. I'll make you some coffee. Would you like some slippers too? That's not gonna fucking happen. It doesn't matter what your fucking name is. If you live in the same neighborhood and you're just harassing your neighbor, you're not some sort of celebrity. You're just an asshole harassing your fucking neighbors. No one likes that guy. Everyone on the block hates that neighbor that acts like the annoying prick who needs to be up everybody's ass over shit that's not their business. Like I said before, if you genuinely thought someone was actually in danger, you would have got the police involved. You would have said, hey, look, I think something suspect is going on at this address. Could you just maybe go over and do a welfare check, maybe suss things out, see what's going on? And I apologize if I'm wasting your time. I just want to make sure everything's on the up and up because it seems a little off to me. That's all you got to do. Like, cops would rather investigate one of those and have it be like a 5-minute misunderstanding than have to answer a 911 call because the traumatized kids turned up on someone's doorstep, like what happened with the fucking Frankie Rose kids. But the fact is, like, there doesn't appear to be any reason, like, no reason at all. You have no probable cause whatsoever to come over and harass these people. And even if you believe something is up, that's the job of the police, not you. And citizens' arrest only works when there's obviously a clear violation of the law, and there have to be very, very extenuating circumstances that would justify that. This doesn't come off like citizens' arrest. This doesn't come off like a inquisitive neighbor coming to investigate something sketchy. It just comes off as a mentally unwell psycho harassing his neighbors for no reason.
Open the door. This is my neighborhood. Open the fucking door. No. Or I will fucking end you. Do you understand me?
Yeah, I don't know about you guys, but when someone threatens to kill me if I refuse to answer the door, that sounds like a reason I wouldn't answer the door. This is my neighborhood. Open the door. Now. Let me in. Let me in. It is my neighborhood. Open the door. Now. Yeah, at that point it's like, dude, you're harassing everyone in this household by acting like a fucking nut. You don't come off as intimidating. You come off like a mentally ill Reddit mod that decided that you should be treated like a pseudo celebrity because you spent 45 minutes moderating a fucking Reddit thread about waifu butts. See, this is the kind of person that would have been cold if people were allowed to deal with defects in the proper way instead of just allowing them to run and antagonize other people. Like, people like this are a positive argument for eugenics. I don't agree with it, but people like this, when they walk around and act like this and harass other people and make their days more difficult and scare their fucking children, I kind of understand. Even if I don't like what it means, I don't like the implications of it, but at the same time, when people like this are allowed to roam the public unopposed with no one to tell them to fuck off, stop being a dickhead, I kind of understand. Man, ever since Lisa left it, Millhouse has really fallen on hard times, huh? To the point where he has to go fucking creeping around elementary schools for people's kids and then following them home to harass the parents. Seriously, the guy looks like a stereotype that was drawn on fucking BuzzFeed. This guy looks like the stereotypical BuzzFeed troll archetype that people would make up so that they could then say that all people on X website are misogynists, because this looks like the kind of guy that would try to like kidnap your daughter for breeding purposes because he's crazy. But yeah, the best thing to do if you want people to let you in their house is to destroy their property, freak the fuck out, try to destroy the Ring doorbell camera because that totally doesn't make you look sketchy as shit when you try to destroy the evidence, despite the fact that all the footage is backed up to the cloud, so there's no escaping it at that point. But then you freak the fuck out, shriek and shriek and shriek and shriek and freak the fuck out and read right in front of the fucking doorbell camera, peeking the mic and trying to act as crazy as shit. You gotta wonder, at what point does a person's brain just not tell them, this is a stupid idea, you look like an asshole, and you're gonna get fucking arrested for this shit? Like, at what point does the brain just not factor in the fact that this is the kind of behavior that no one thinks is rational, and you come off as fucking insane to everyone around you when you act like this? Like, this guy's gonna end up in jail. I mean, this is fucking crazy. This is fucking crazy. This is not normal. This is not healthy behavior. Is to threaten to murder the homeowner because they just won't let you into their house to talk to people who they believe you could be a threat to. When you walk up to their house dressed like a school shooter. And people wonder why the fuck it is that Reddit gets made fun of. It's because a lot of the people that frequent the website look, act, and dress like this, and then still expect to be taken seriously.